Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the elephant in the room, or maybe we should say the bear.
That's correct, Tisha. So let's talk about the latest in real estate news and what Zillow just dropped, and more importantly, how it connects to what we're seeing right here in the Lowcountry.
So here's the headline. Zillow has officially flipped to being bearish on the housing market for 2025. That's a pretty big deal because after 25 years of pushing growth and tight inventory, they're now predicting that home prices could decline in a lot of markets, with some seeing drops over 5% this year.
And while that might sound scary, especially if you're a seller, it's also creating some really interesting opportunities, especially for short-term rental investors and second home buyers.
That's right. So if prices soften while travel demand stays strong, which it is, buyers who've been sitting on the sidelines might finally have a shot at getting some great properties without competing against 20 other offers.
But here's the thing, Zillow's national data doesn't always tell the full story. Let's break down what actually is happening locally, starting with Hilton Head condos and villas.
Well, you know, that's sort of my specialty, condos and villas. Inventory is actually up 29% from this time last year. That means more choices for buyers, finally.
But closed sales are down 23.5% compared to March of last year. Fewer buyers are pulling the trigger, likely due to rate sensitivity or just waiting to see what happens.
We've seen that quite often. Even so, prices are still climbing. The median sales price is actually up 10%. So sitting just under $580,000 for a condo on the island. So sellers are holding their ground, but not as firmly as they were.
Right. The average seller is getting about 96.1% of their asking price, down slightly from last year, so there's more room to negotiate.
Yep, that's right. And the average time on market up to 78 days. That's about a 4% increase from last year. And another sign the frenzy has definitely calmed down.
Now, let's talk about what's happening just across the bridge in Bluffton, because this market is seeing a very different kind of shift.
New listings in Bluffton's single-family home market are up 58% in March. That's a huge jump and a clear sign that sellers are re-entering the market in a big way, which we hadn't seen in the past several years.
But here's the kicker. Sales are down. Closed sales dropped 12.4%, even though buyers have more options. That's telling us today's buyer is more cautious, more selective, and unwilling to overpay.
That's right. Pricing growth has slowed in Bluffton, but it's still positive. The median home price rose just 2.7%, up to $470,000 on average here in Bluffton. That's a much more modest increase than we saw in past years, and it aligns with what Zillow is forecasting nationally.
The percent of list price received is holding pretty steady, down just a hair at 98.1%. So again, homes are still selling, but sellers are having to work harder to earn it.
That's right. And days on market in Bluffton, well, way up. Homes are now sitting an average of 63 days, which is a 40% increase from last March. Combine that with a 55% rise in inventory, and it's clear we're shifting back to an even slightly buyer-friendly market.
So whether you're looking at Hilton Head condos or Bluffton single-family homes, this message is the same. This isn't 2021. You need a smart strategy to buy and an even smarter one to sell.
Yes, you do. And for short-term rental investors, this may actually be your moment. With prices softening, less competition, and the demand for travel still going strong, this could be the reset you have been waiting for.
Just remember, tourist-driven markets like Hilton Head don't always move in step with national trends.
That's true, and that's why you need a local expert to help guide you. So, is Zillow right? In some ways, yes, but here in the Lowcountry, we don't panic. We pivot, and we're helping our clients do just that. This is why you need us to guide you so you understand what the exact local trends are doing.
If you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing, let's chat. Drop your questions in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and reach out if you want to strategize.
See you next time in the Lowcountry.